Welcome to Bacon is My Podcast. Before we get into this show, we do want to let everybody know that we are proudly bringing this show to you from the den.
Yeah.
That's the Deluxe Edition Network.
Rocking it out.
Found at deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
In the DEN.
That's right. We are a part of an awesome network of really awesome podcasts, such as...
That's a lot of awesome that you just said there.
Yes.
Health. History. I'd like to...
Yes. There's also Beard Laws, Spoiled My Movie.
Yes.
The Deluxe Edition Podcast. There's like 26 different podcasts, so go over there, check it out. DeluxeEditionNetwork.com. Do it now.
We are happy to be one. Thank you so much. What's your bacon?
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Spencer from Under Oath and my solo project, Slow Tide. I have a new single that just came out called Don't Trip. It's available anywhere you stream music. Please give it a listen. Share it with your friends. My buddy Aaron Gillespie's actually ripping the drums on this one. So, yeah, help me spread the word. And you can follow Slow Tide at SLOTIDE band on all socials. Thank you to Bacon is My Podcast for always sharing my stuff. Much love. Peace.
Here we are.
We're here in the BIMP Lounge.
I am me. You are you.
We
are
are
we.
We are we.
And we are all together.
Yes. Cuckoo choo, baby.
Yeah, man.
Cuckoo choo. So yeah, today we're gonna do some discussion and drinks. We're gonna do it a little earlier because
Because you're tired.
I am tired. So
You had a big week.
yeah. It's been crazy weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks like since September, mid-September, or beginning of September. So I'm happy that it's all slowed down now.
Mm-hmm.
I got the old, you can rest now.
The hand of God. You were given permission to die? What is that?
Yeah, I don't remember what movie that is, but yeah. That was morbid, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to sleep, I think.
And now you have my permission to die.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna talk about things and stuff.
Dark.
I don't know
It
what.
got dark all of a
Yes.
sudden.
What the hell? My bad.
We gotta lighten it up.
But yeah, welcome to Discussions and Drinks.
Yeah.
Where
We're drinking. What are we drinking today?
we're drinking
Meine Freund. It's German.
a little Jameson Black Label, courtesy of Jim
Irish.
over here. He hooked me up because today, the day that we're recording this, is my birthday. And
I wasn't going to say anything unless you were going to say something.
Yeah, no,
Because
it's okay.
I never dare tell people my birthday. But,
Yeah, I don't care.
But it's the day of your birth!
Yes.
The day you sprung forth
Yes.
into life.
What does Annie call it?
Uteral evacuation
Yes.
day.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yes.
Yeah.
You tunneled
I did
to
Burrowed.
existence.
burrow.
Like
that sounds awful. God, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing?
Like
today?
a groundhog.
What?
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
You need sleep. You need to go to sleep too. I
Yeah,
think.
I probably do.
Okay, we're gonna hit the intro.
I've needed to sleep for a while.
It's so far away. I usually have a table here. Yeah.
Oh, my coffee's
Actually-
over there. Well, while you're over there.
Yeah. We're gonna hit it now.
Yeah.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the BIMP Lounge.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes.
Everyone who is not part of the BIMP squad over on Patreon, you guys didn't get to see how dark all that just got.
We'll leave some of it in. Not all of it.
Yeah.
We just get weird here sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Hey, man, I'm glad you were born.
Thanks. Me too.
Yeah, I appreciate your existence on this earth.
I appreciate you appreciating my existence on this earth.
I need to thank your mom.
Yeah. Good.
I'm glad she went through with it.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I thank my mom on my birthdays.
Yeah.
I'm just like, thank you. Thanks for not pulling the plug. I appreciate it.
You had a lot of options.
Yeah.
You chose You chose a difficult one.
Although I'm glad she had options.
Who said we don't get political?
Earth.
Who said we don't get political?
America. Yeah. Hey. So welcome to the BIMP Lounge. If you are just tuning in for the very first time, this is Mike. I am Jimmy. We're a couple of dudes that don't matter on the internet, giving our opinions over things that maybe you care about, maybe you don't, over some drinks.
Yeah.
That you can choose to either have with us or not.
This show is definitely, it tastes better with a drink.
It does.
You know?
Yeah.
Like something to wash it down.
Right. Yeah. We are like a bitter pill.
Right.
It goes down easier with some sugar, if you will.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Again, we mentioned the BIMP squad over at Bacon is My Podcast's Patreon, which is where can you find that?
That is at patreon.com/baconismypodcast.
You did it. You did it. And what you can do there is actually be there for when we record this on Sundays. Usually Sundays. Sometimes it's other days. But
Yeah.
you get live early access of it. And people over in the chat weighing in.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
you
What's
can
going on,
comment.
Bill?
You can comment live. You can let us know what's up in your world. And that's sometimes, that can be fun.
Yeah.
If you're into that sort of thing. If you're not into that sort of thing, at least, do the like, subscribe thing.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're watching this.
For show.
Watching us over on strangerhoodtv.com. Just Google Bacon is My Podcast. We'll come up. Push videos.
Yeah.
It'll be a thing.
Yeah. Actually, this is our first discussion and drink since the anniversary.
Mm.
And
Nice.
we're in year 4 now.
Yeah.
This is officially year 4.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
Right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like at year 2, I was like, we are zooming on this 5-year plan.
Yeah.
And now at year 4, I'm like, oh man, we got to giddy up on this 5-year plan.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that myself.
Yeah, that was
Like,
weird.
how do we do that?
How that happened?
Yeah. But no, it's been fun. And like the addition of the discussion and drinks has been fun. The one thing I will say is I get from a lot of people, especially like more of our local, like immediate friend group.
Yeah.
They're all like, yeah, I'd rather listen to the discussion and drink episodes most of the time, unless I'm interested in whatever. And I'm like, well, you should listen to all of them. But
Right.
I get it. But
That was the point, kind of. Like, that's why we do 7 questions, so people that don't already know the artist that we're doing can get a little bit about the artist, find out where to find their music, and then go listen to music and go on with their day. And then we have the interviews for people that want to kind of jump in there and get into the goo.
Yeah.
And find out about whoever it is we're talking to and wants to kind of like mine in there with us. And then, go about their day. And then we have the discussions and drinks for people who don't care about any of that. And they just want to listen to 2 idiots on the internet give their inaccurate or accurate opinions on whatever the hell we're talking about.
I mean, opinions are not usually accurate or inaccurate.
Yeah, they're just opinions.
Right.
Right.
But I will say, I choose to, maybe I do decide if opinions are true or not,
Yeah.
or good or not.
Well, I mean, I'm right most of the time when I
Right.
say things.
Right.
Most of the things that come out of my mouth, take it to the bank.
Before we got on, we were talking about now. Finally, the SAG-AFTRA strike is over,
Yes.
and we're gonna get
Very
some
excited
fucking
about
TV and movies again.
Very excited about that.
God damn.
I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad they're gonna get paid. I'm glad that they reached a deal.
Yeah, it was that, and I guess there was a thing with AI being a big point of contention and stuff like that. And I agree.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't be able to like, if
Take someone's likeness and just be like,
if someone acts in your film, and then you do another film later that is set in the same universe, and you just use a AI generated clip of that person in your new film, you still got to pay them for that,
Right.
right? Like
Yeah.
that's still there, and AI can't write as well as a human.
No.
I'm sorry, but it can't. I've read it, I've listened to it, I've heard the songs.
Yeah.
Not so
Not yet.
much.
Not quite yet.
Not so much. It doesn't feel yet. All right. Sorry, Skynet. Not quite there. It'll take over every other aspect of our life, but I don't think the arts is one where it can do that.
Yeah.
You need a person, you know.
Something that, of course, as a consumer of all things, media and whatnot.
Sure.
For me, it was a bummer. It was like, oh man, like it's just all these cool things are supposed to be coming out, and we
Right.
can't do anything. But I will say, I do think that this whole lockdown, shutdown of the industry, if you will, is going to help a lot of things in the long run. And I think that, bringing it back to our interests here on the show is especially like the MCU. Because the MCU, they threw some stinkers out there because they were trying to.
Well, they were rushed.
Yeah, it was a lot of rushed
things felt
stuff.
rushed.
A lot of, they were trying to churn out more things.
Mhm.
And I think this stop and this shutdown got them to kind of step back, take a broader look, and go, okay, let's look at the quality of this stuff and decide, do we need this? Do we not need this? If we do need this, do we need to do it this way? I know that they're doing, they're doing a complete creative overhaul of the Daredevil show.
Mhm.
that, from what I understand, is I think it was like halfway shot.
Yeah. See,
And-
that's the only time when I'm like, oh man, because it's like once you get into reshoots, it just feels like
Well, I don't think it's so much that particular project. I don't think
Right.
it's so much reshoots as it is.
hey, we got a happy birthday
Oh, thanks, Donna.
from Donna over in the BIMP squad.
I don't think it's because if you're halfway through a show and something that Vincent Kingpin D'Onofrio, he was saying, he's like, no, this kind of stuff happens a lot. Like, you start fleshing things out, and they're starting to play out, and then things change a little bit.
Mhm.
And I think that's cool. I think that's cool. We're not talking about like a Justice League kind of thing,
Right.
where the whole movie is shot and the company and then
Right.
the
No, no,
studio's
like-
like, nah,
Nah.
nah, this is awful.
Yeah.
Um,
or like Suicide Squad, where they're like, no, we need to change the villain and get rid of most of these scenes and make it look
Right.
more like a music video.
Now, what I am concerned about, like you said, with the reshoots and stuff like that, I know that the new Captain America,
Yeah.
what is it, Brave New World?
Brave New World.
I think
Because
that
New World Order got people too angry.
yes, yeah, which is kind of shitty.
It's just,
It's
you know,
everybody's
like,
too precious.
I love America, but we're weird. We're silly sometimes.
Yeah,
We're some silly billies.
yeah. But yeah, that worries me a little bit because that they were even saying they were like they're gonna specifically change out like 3 key scenes, and it's gonna be like extensive reshoots, like 4 to 6 months worth
wow.
of reshoots.
Okay.
The movie's done. Like the movie was
Right.
done, but it was, I guess it came out to pretty unsavory reviews for the first run, from what I understand.
That is interesting.
But I do think,
Well,
the
if it's
other
going to
thing,
improve it, then cool.
I just think it's cool because, again, Marvel has been, they were knocking them out of the park up until Infinity War and Endgame. Coming out of Endgame and stuff, there were some bright spots, but there's also been some guys. We are so excited because Manscaped has upped the game.
See this? See what I'm doing?
Yeah. No, that's how smooth.
I couldn't do this if there was hair all over this globe.
That's right.
It'd feel like a grassy knoll.
But instead, he uses the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra.
See that with the grass and the lawn?
I saw that.
Yeah.
It's great. They've got interchangeable dual head system with both a regular razor that you're used to on your lawnmower, but also now a foil blade as well.
Yes, usually I'm not into foil blades, but I gotta say, I'm digging this one.
It's tight. It's
digging
tight.
this one. Yeah, it gets the little crease in the where the leg attaches to the torso, right? Like you had an old action figure and you pulled the leg off, the little ball and socket,
Yeah,
right in there. It gets right in there.
absolutely.
Right next to your ball and socket. And if you already have one of these, if you already have the 4.0, the upgrade's good, man.
Upgrade is good.
Upgrade is good. It's got all the stuff that you like already. The light is a little bit brighter.
Yes.
Key, it has a lock.
Yes.
So that means in your bag, it won't turn on automatically because you're traveling somewhere and you put some shoes in your bag and you push down on it and it just turns on and then the battery's dead.
That's right.
You can lock it. Awesome feature. Everything else, you've got your ceramic blades, you've got your skin safe technology, you got all of that is the same and improved, but it's just a better system. Highly recommend.
Go to manscaped.com right now. Use the promo code BACONPOD for 20% off your entire order.
Yes.
You could get the 5.0 Lawnmower Ultra. You can also use it on other products like the Crop Mop, which is our personal favorite. If you ever see us out in the wild,
Yes.
you can definitely hit us up and we will give you one of those.
We always have them on us.
Always.
Always ready to give out.
Yes. So again, manscaped.com, promo code BACONPOD, 20% off of free shipping. Thank you, Manscaped. And always remember to ask yourself, are your balls clean?
That's my bacon.
Face it, dating sucked in your 20s, gets worse in your 30s, and your 40s, forget it.
It's a cesspool out there, and we're your flotation device.
Join us weekly for saucy chat, ridiculous love gurus,
And MILF-worthy fun to spice up your life.
the MILF and Me podcast. Every Wednesday on your favorite pod platform.
And the MILFandMePod.com.
The MILF and Me podcast.
So.
Do you think they suffer at all from Endgame and Infinity War being everybody being like, oh, you have to top that. That's the best thing anyone could ever do because it's all these years mixed into this. And it's like, it's kind of like holding up to some kind of standard instead of just kind of moving forward.
I think that it's a double-edged sword, right? You know, I mean, shit. You know that they're working on something even bigger, right? The title of the movie spoils what the movie is going to be about.
Right.
The gist of the movie, right? So now with Disney eating up all these other companies and getting the rights and to all these characters and stuff like that, we're building up to Secret War. And Secret War is basically where you have different universes, you have different timelines and stuff like that. And how do you top what just happened, where you take 22 movies and you make them all mean at one point? Well, you take, 30-something years of movies, and you bring those in together. You know, they're integrating the X-Men universe. They're going to integrate the, Deadpool, the Spider-Mans and stuff like that, along with their movies, which is something that we never thought we would ever see in our lifetime, which is just like Endgame, where you're like, how's that going to happen?
I'm just wondering, though, like, if that just puts them in a position where they almost can't just make a good movie. It has to tie to something else, and it has to go to something bigger, and it has to be attached to this.
Well, I think
how are they going to attach it to that? Like, I'll be honest, like, if Infinity War and Endgame happened, and then from then on, I didn't see any heroes cross over into any other heroes movies, I would not care.
Right.
I'd be like, oh, cool. I get to see a regular superhero movie that's not part one of a 10-part series.
Yeah.
Like, can I just see? And then I feel like if there is a movie like that that isn't immediately attached to something, people are kind of like, this movie doesn't matter because it doesn't fit into the story.
Right.
And it's like, God damn.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I like the intertwining. I do think that I think that there are certain movies that should just kind of be their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's other movies that they're trying to take a character that people don't necessarily, they're not over the moon about, but they want to use this property and they use that property to forward the overall story.
Right.
And that kind of brings us to the Marvels. I'm not going to get into any of this, any of the spoilers or anything like that, but that movie was not really just a standalone movie. Like, if you didn't know anything from WandaVision,
exactly, yeah.
First Miss
Who the
Marvel,
hell is this? Who the hell is this?
and the Miss Marvel show, and you didn't know Nick Fury already, then or what he's been through with the Secret War and Secret Invasion and stuff, you'd be lost. You'd be completely lost. I don't think there's a way to just go into that movie cold and enjoy it.
Right. I agree. I agree with that. And I think there's certain movies that should kind of do that, and that should be your characters that are your tie-in characters, right? Like I love one of my top Marvel movie of the standalone movies is Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, that's great.
It's a espionage movie with Captain America in it.
Right.
And it doesn't beat you over the head with that it has to tie into other things.
Right.
Right? And that was the cool thing about the beginning of the Marvel Universe was like you got a movie that was good on its own, and then in an after credits you got a little tie-in of like, oh, something else is coming that this is going to have to deal with.
I also think that it's the audience too, right? Because the audience wants to get the cameos.
Well, who's the audience now?
Right.
And I'll say that too. Like when I used to go to a late night showing of a Marvel movie, it would be full of Marvel nerds.
Right.
Full of people dressed up like Iron Man, and cheering at the screen, and like it was like a victory that this thing even got made.
Right.
And it was like just the we nerds were just kind of like, I can't believe that I'm getting to see this in a movie.
Right.
In a big budget movie where it doesn't look like shit.
Right.
And this is so awesome. This looks like what I imagined it could be.
Yeah.
And then like I feel like now it's kind of done the same thing that music has, where like, for a while you had like, once a genre becomes popular, all the lame people are in it.
Right.
And then all those lame people want to give their opinions about it. And lame people are the loudest people online.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So it kind of like ruins the experience, like that's why I stopped reading reviews and why I stopped looking at trailers and why I stopped all that stuff, because I was just kind of like I'm never going to read a review where it's just going to be like, it's going to tell me what I need to hear to know what I think about a movie.
I was talking about this with actually Chris Waterbury recently, where I feel like all movies, either, like you said, have to have this big tie-in with a much larger universe or whatever.
Right.
Or has to have some sort of huge, profound statement.
Right.
What happened to like popcorn movies? Airheads.
Amen.
And like Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
And fucking Norbit. Nutty Professor.
Well,
like
there were movies that came out
Super Troopers.
over the last year that were kind of like trying to bring that type of like comedy
Yeah.
movie back, and no one went and saw them,
Yeah. Well, it's
including me.
Right.
You know, I can't even be like, there was that one with Jennifer Lawrence that came out that looked like it was really going to be funny, where it was like some kid's parents hired her to like screw him before he goes to college because he was like, yeah.
I didn't even know this.
The commercials were hilarious.
I didn't know.
Because she's like throwing herself at this kid, and he's like super shy, and he's like awkward, and he's not into it, and it's like it looks funny. I can't remember the name of it now, but I didn't go see it.
Yeah. No, I miss those movies. Like where
I
it
miss
could
movies
just
being
be
$20,
right.
you know, for two people.
Right. I was yeah. I miss that. I miss the movies that you didn't have to go in and learn a lesson from.
Right.
Like,
Right.
It
Or
was,
research beforehand.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you were able to go in, enjoy it, and then go home. Like you were able to turn your brain off,
Right.
enjoy it, and then go home.
I think Barbie was kind of that, even though there was some messaging in there, but like I didn't feel like I was beat over the head with anything watching Barbie.
I think there was
You know,
it got to
there was an
yes, there was.
overarching
Yeah,
but it wasn't like shoving it down your throat like feminism. You know, it wasn't anything like that.
No,
It was
it wasn't feminism, but it was very much and I'm not saying like, oh, it had a message.
Right.
What I'm saying is like from the beginning, she was saying things, and the girl and the mother, they were all saying things that women just they don't normally say out loud.
Right.
So that was something that they were driving home. That was the overall overarching message. And listen, did they offset it with some completely ridiculous shit? Yes, they did.
I didn't feel preached to in that movie. Maybe it's because most of the women I hang around are saying all those things out loud all the time.
I don't right like
So I was like, oh yeah, this is.
I don't feel like I was preached to, but I do think that a vast majority, whether or not I like those people or not, is not here or there.
And I didn't walk out of Tommy Boy going like, yeah, I feel like maybe I can be a better person from this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Or the Big Lebowski.
Right.
You know, what are those?
And it didn't have to be
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent came out 2 years ago.
You're right. That was one. That was
more
great.
of those.
Yeah, I think,
That did horrible in the theaters.
Yeah,
but it's so good.
Oh my god,
so
it's
good.
amazing. It is so.
It's so good.
Fucking Cage.
It's so good.
Yeah, I love that movie. I love that movie. But yeah, there's not a lot of
But yeah, it's true. There's less of that happening. Maybe it's more the indie film or indie style film thing, or maybe it's some of the stuff that's more going straight to Netflix now. Some of that stuff.
Yeah. You know what? A lot of the Adam
Hack,
Sandler and was it like David Spade? I think
But even some action movies and stuff. You got those action movies on Netflix with Hemsworth.
Okay.
That he did like those two, and those were both really good. And then like Ryan Reynolds did a couple that again, there's no like messaging in there or anything like that. It's just a popcorn movie. It's like a fun, cool action movie. But they're not being put in theaters and
The Nice
marketed.
Guy,
and,
right?
no, it wasn't Nice Guy. It was like an action movie.
Oh,
where he was like from the future and.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I do enjoy those movies. I miss them. They're not. There's not nearly enough of them anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think, and I don't think it's an indie thing. I think indie film, by and large, is almost like mainstream now.
Yeah. Indie film, I guess, just to me always feels like lower budget.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but storytelling wise and relevance wise and the time that it comes out. Like Oppenheimer might as well have been an indie film, you
Right.
know? Just on a huge budget with
Right.
a huge cast, you
Right.
know? But
What's
the
you
way
gotta,
that story is told, you know,
like, think about this, right? So, what we do, even with recording and the little bit of video stuff that we do and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I mean, these budgets are tremendous, but the ability to do uh the ability to do those things on a smaller budget is like you can do that.
Okay.
So I'm wondering why the budgets are so crazy nowadays. Because the cost of doing these things is less.
Well, I think you got to go into like the cost of doing some things is less, but the cost of doing like CGI and things like that is way more.
Okay.
And you've got like a company that's handling 5 different movies at a time.
Right.
And if say Disney comes in and wants a Marvel movie, they're like, we need every single person that you have, and you can't take other movies
Right.
during this while this is happening. Oh, and we need it done by this date.
Right.
And oh, we're moving it up. Okay, we need it done by this date, but now we need a trailer 6 months in advance.
Right.
You know, like that type of thing. So, and they're not even getting paid enough. Like they're getting, you got people that are working 20 hours in a day,
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
which is getting pretty crazy. I do see that
Yeah.
from our BIMP squad, Ziggy 4465,
Mm-hmm.
not to be confused with the other 4,464
Mhm.
of them, saw the Jennifer Lawrence movie. It was okay. Had a gratuitous nude scene, and it's on Netflix now.
Mhm.
Um,
Also, spoiler. She even suplexed the guy while completely unclothed.
I'm into that.
Yeah, let's watch this. I'm in.
I miss nude scenes in movies.
Yeah.
I miss gratuitous nudity.
Well, they're still around.
I'm a fan of gratuitous nudity.
They're still around.
Yeah, not as much though.
They
as much.
they got more artsy with it though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tasteful, no bush.
Yeah.
That's from a movie.
What movie is that from?
Somebody.
Oh, I
Somebody.
remember. Tasteful no bush. Damn. Is it Waiting? No.
Somebody in the comments.
Yeah. Somebody make me remember. So this way I can go, oh,
It'll be there.
Right. All right.
But yeah, I do miss gratuitous nudity. They had, all those movies from like when we were kids, and it would be like, oh my god, this movie has a bunch of boobs in it.
Mhm.
It was like when you're a young boy
Mm-hmm.
growing up in the world, or just a young person that
Yeah.
wants to look at nude bodies, which I think we all do in
Yeah.
our early teens.
Oh, Bill said, "Oh, this is full, complete nudity."
Non-tasteful. I like it. Jennifer Lawrence is super hot. So.
Yeah, yeah. She's aight.
Yeah.
She's aight.
Yeah, so come on, Hollywood. More nudity movies. More gratuitous nudity.
And also, that doesn't go with the like the Barbie message. So it's
Sure it
men
does.
and women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I didn't say
Yeah.
I mean I said boobies, but
Right.
I just say gratuitous nudity.
Yeah.
Throw it all in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, still need the dangling flaccid penis.
Just gotta see if they're using their Manscaped.
Exactly. 5.0. Bacon Pod.
Yeah.
20% off.
100% off.
Uh,
Free shipping.
No Hard Feelings is the name of the movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. No hard feelings.
Okay. We're gonna watch it. soon.
Yeah, maybe
Very
we'll
soon.
do a watch along.
Yeah, that would be fun.
We haven't done one of those in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, we could do that. That'd be fun.
We could compare it. Like we'll take that movie and then maybe we'll grab like an older movie of the same kind of genre and idea and just be like, all right, so are we staying true, or are we embarrassed now by the old one and being like, oh man, oh man,
Yeah.
boy, that was a time in our lives.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think it's also the way society has changed as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the gratuitous nudity and the harsh insults and whatnot. You know,
Sure.
if you take some of the things that, like Jen and I, we just started watching South Park over from the beginning,
Oh, it's so good.
and man, you can't say any of it,
So good.
any of it in the world today.
And you should be able to.
Well, there's a big difference. Like, and she even pointed it out. You know, this is like obvious, hard pan, satirical,
Right.
funny shit.
Yes.
You know, like,
And if you don't find it funny, don't watch it.
right. But it's also not. How do you explain to people that it's not making fun of anything? You know, whether it be a mental disorder or a weight thing or sexuality thing or a race thing or whatever. Like, I don't know, man. Like, they were able to do it
Yeah.
so ridiculously that, like, it's hard to be offended by it.
Yeah. Well, they do it through the mouths of children.
Well,
Kids always say weird, funny stuff,
sure.
you know? So I think that goes into their favor too. And I think that was part of the plan to begin with. They were like, we want to make something wouldn't it be funny if we could say this, we could say this, we could say this, we could say this, but we'll have children say it.
Right.
Because when children say it, people don't take it as seriously and they don't take it as harshly. Right? Because they go, oh, they don't know any better.
Right.
Right, and it's funny coming from a kid. You put a YouTube video up of a 3-year-old telling somebody to go fuck themselves, and it gets millions of views. You
Right.
put a YouTube video up of me doing it, and nobody cares.
Right.
Because yeah, that's just, you're an adult. Have you noticed some new things on Bacon Is My Podcast? We have the new BIMP Lounge.
Yes.
Right? So with that, we're trying to up our game a little bit here.
That's right.
Right? We're trying to extend our reach. If you want to help us do that, well, one of the ways you can do that is by rocking out with our sponsors. Jump over to baconismypodcast.com, jump to our sponsor page, and check out all of our awesome sponsors. Get all
GrillYourAssOff.com, DrinkWildBills.com, Manscaped, Pod Decks. There's quite a few of them.
Everything's
and we're
there
adding
with-
stuff all the time.
with the most recent promo codes and the best deals that you can possibly get. Another way you can help us, get some t-shirts.
Like this one right here. It doesn't come without the sleeves,
It gives you the option.
but it gives you the option.
Yeah, you get it with sleeves. You don't want sleeves, you cut the sleeves off.
That's right.
That's how it works. Then you have a headband if you have like a thin head.
Yes.
I can't use the sleeves as a headband because I have a giant round head.
Yeah, we both do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to baconismypodcast.com. Check out the merch page. Bacon is my fashion.
Yes.
Right.
And you can check out all the latest episodes. It's kind of like a portal to everything Bacon Is My Podcast, including our music.
A portal to bacon.
Yes. Including his band, Craving Strange.
Yes,
My band,
his band,
Something
Something.
Heavy. Also, Bacon Is My Passion, the band itself. So,
Music coming.
yes. So go ahead, check it out. Costs nothing to look. So go
And
ahead
then
and
you
do
should
it.
buy. You break it, you bought it though.
What's up, everybody? I'm Matt, the host of the Beard Laws Podcast, a podcast that has nothing to do with beards. A podcast where we aim to entertain and interact with our live viewers, but our listeners, they're like the quiet person that never talks sitting around the bonfire because the rest of the group is so entertaining, hilarious, wild, and a little bit them. So grab a drink, grab a snack, and let Beard Laws and the boys, Toby, Brandon, Logan, Zach, Richie, and our occasional special guest entertain you. We're live on the Beard Laws YouTube Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and for whatever reason you want to see us and or our beards, check us out, thebeardlawspodcast.com. We're everywhere.
Yeah. You should know better, or they deserved it. Like whatever. I think that there was a period of time where I think any kind of progress in any societal progress happens very unsmoothly, right? And you have to go through this period of people really, really forcing an issue because it matters, and overdoing and oversaying what the meaning is, to make sure that someone who gets it right away gets it, and someone who has no idea what they're looking at gets it,
Right.
and somebody that's going to fight it still gets it, right? And just as much you have another side that doesn't want change and doesn't want things to be different and doesn't want to learn a lesson, fighting against it, and you have that clash for a period of time where it just feels like everything's out of hand. And I think we had that a few years ago,
Yeah.
right? Where it just felt like, oh my God,
Right.
like they fired James Gunn for, right. Or this person, someone dragged up a tweet that they did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And all context was lost.
Yeah.
And it just became like, well, this is a horrible thing to say, and this is an offensive thing to say, and you can't do it. And that bled into art.
Yeah.
And it bled into movies, and it bled into scripts, and it bled into kind of everything. And hopefully we're coming out of that
Mm-hmm.
to where there's a better idea of, okay, I have the freedom to say whatever it is that I want. So long as it's not inciting some kind of hatred or action or something like that. But I can say whatever I want.
Sure.
How do I now, with more knowledge behind me, creatively do it to where I can still get that same laugh, and I can still get that same result, and I can still tell that same joke or that same idea, but I can do it in a way where now I've creatively made it to where I can't be called out in this way or that way.
Right.
Right? Or my intentions are more clear, so that I can't just be blindly called this or that or labeled anything.
Right.
Or how do I add in the context in a way? And I think that's where we are now, is we're kind of getting into that. You're starting to see it back in comedy again. You're seeing comedy specials where people are pushing the line, pushing the envelope again. And everybody was afraid to for a while.
A long time, yeah.
Because it was like,
they were like, "Oh, we're gonna get canceled."
Well, and yeah, we're gonna get canceled, and a bunch of people that have never met us and have no idea who we are and have no idea what we're actually about can band together because of the power of social media, and they can ruin careers and ruin lives and decide that they don't like something, so somebody shouldn't have the right to be employed.
Right.
And things like that. And we're starting to get to a point where it's like, yeah, no, that's not how that's going to work.
Right.
That's not how that should work, and that's not how that's going to work. So I hopefully we're coming out of that, and we'll start to see. And I think we are. I think this No Hard Feelings movie was kind of a step in that direction. I think comedy is kind of stepping in that direction.
See, I think you had mentioned that, but like, if you NWA, if you look at their current situation, so National Wrestling Alliance, Billy Corgan's wrestling promotion, they signed a deal with the CW, and they were going to get a full show as well as a reality TV show that was going to run concurrently with it. And they had a pay-per-view event, and within that pay-per-view event, a character, Dr. or Father Mitchell, he was snorting coke Now, Father Mitchell is, he's kind of the devil. Like that's what his character is. He is the devil. He's, and it was based around Halloween, and I didn't get to see it personally, but I do know that it had to do with like the 7 deadly sins, and it was like within there.
Okay.
And Billy Corgan was very adamant that that was in there. Well, apparently the clip went viral. Again, like you said, out of context, pulled from it. It's on TV, and people were tweeting to CW saying this is the kind of content that you're going to put on
Right.
your television station, and they lost the deal.
Yeah, I mean, did they lose the deal because of that, or did they lose the deal because NXT came up as an option because CW signed NXT?
Well,
And now they're part of the WWE family, and it's part of that, and they know it's going to be family friendly. You know, like and when you're working with a television network, there's parameters. I get that. MTV used to not allow anybody in a video to be smoking.
right. Well, that think about it this way too, and CW they are probably on the lighter side, I guess you would say.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, it's weird that wrestling is held to such a different standard. Because how many shows has like people doing drugs?
Well, that's the question. Do they show the people doing drugs? Or do
Right.
they, I'll bring up Lucifer, the
Yeah.
show Lucifer. So Lucifer, the main character, is literally Lucifer, right? And consistently in every episode is talking about the orgies and the drugs and all that, but you never actually see him do it. You'll see him leaving a room where it looks like there's just people and bodies everywhere and scantily clad and all that kind of stuff. So you're left to, oh, I just missed all the crazy stuff that just happened.
Right.
Right. So it's, and there's again, it's all about the art form.
Right.
You have to figure out a way to tell your story, and you can tell the same exact story and tell everything, but there's always going to be some parameters that you have to work in if you're working with other people.
Right.
And I get that. Like I do get that. I'm against censorship in all forms. I don't care what. In fact, I would rather see someone saying things that deeply offend me because I want to know who they are. I would rather know those people. I'd rather live out loud. Live out loud. If you are a piece of crap,
right. If you're a racist,
you be a loud
be
racist piece of crap. I don't want your right to speech taken away because I don't want to not know that you think like that.
Right.
Because if I don't know, then I can't either choose not to be around you.
Yeah, either avoid you or punch you in the face.
Punch you in the face, or C, try and have a conversation with you to maybe steer you in a new direction.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think it's super important that we know what's going on around us, and we know what the people
who you're
around us think.
socializing with.
I think canceling and shutting people up and pushing things, what it makes is it makes a seedy underbelly.
Yeah.
Right? And I disagree with that. So I'm for whatever. So but if you're a parent, you got kids. Do you want your kid watching someone snort coke, or would you rather that story still be told so you can understand it and enjoy it without your kid having to see it happen?
Well, that's a whole other thing where it's like, well, how do you parent? Okay,
Right.
Are you letting your kids watch this, or do you have enough? It's right here. Do you have enough? Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention to what your kids are imbibing?
Yeah.
Are you?
But even if you are, man, like,
Well, yeah, you can't
You were a
protect them
kid
from
once.
everything.
How many
Yeah.
things did you watch without?
Dude,
your
we just
parents?
watched. We just talked about it on Hilf, and I was like, I wanted to watch Monday Night Raw, and I would sneak to my TV, and I would
Exactly.
turn that dial, and I would
Exactly.
turn it when I heard footsteps. I turn it back down, and like that's
Exactly. So if you're looking at something that's going to be prime time and available and open, and something that's like, okay, you're a wrestling promotion, so like it or not, you're going to be compared to WWE,
right. That's
right? And if your kids are already fans of WWE and you're
and this is
not
accept.
and
So
you're not particularly a wrestling fan, you just know that they watch wrestling and you've watched a couple episodes with them and you've been okay with whatever's on there. And then there's this other wrestling show that's on and they're watching it and you walk in the room and that's what you see. Or you sit down with them to watch it because you've watched WWE with them
Right.
before. So, that's why there's a rating system.
right.
That's why there's all those other things. And I don't think it's on the network and I don't think it's on the show to raise your kids or keep them from things.
Exactly.
But it is within the rights of the network to go, wow, man, yeah, we don't want that on our network.
Right.
But also NXT's up for grabs right now. And
Which is
they're very colorful.
yeah.
Bunch of young people in that show
Mhm.
that we can then put on CW shows because they're in the same age. We can put Carmelo Hayes on
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's like there's also that. It's like it's a business decision. It's a money decision.
Yeah.
Rather than this is some old guy playing the devil snorting coke on TV
Right.
on this show with like pretty low production value.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm the CW, I'm like,
oh yeah, the NXT is 1,000,000% more sexy than NWA for sure. Yeah. I don't know, man. And like with the canceling thing too. I think shit people said. When you look back at what people have said, and like you said, 10 years ago, and how many times have we said this in the past? What, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? If you're the same person you were 10 years ago, then you've made no what have you done?
That's like my new mantra.
Yeah. and I do think that when people say something stupid and turn around and say, hey, like either A, I fucked up,
Mm-hmm.
or B, can actually say, okay, well, in context, this is why it was said. It wasn't because of X, Y, Z. It was because of here's the beginning, here's the end.
Right.
You just took the middle.
Right.
So I think that is important, to not be canceling people over like the James Gunn thing, whatever. I think that, but when it comes to like the Harvey Weinstein stuff or the fucking Lost Profits guy, like
there's
when
lines.
it comes to
there's levels.
when
and
it comes
lines
to like
this.
sexual assault and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
that's canceling.
Yeah, there's lines to
can't-
this. That's
yeah.
when you're breaking laws.
Right.
You should go to jail, and you should not be able to do anything else.
Right.
And anyone in any industry should be able to go, yep, we don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
Which they should be able to do anyway.
Right.
They should be able to do anyway. But I don't think that legit that some of these studios and some of these employers would fire somebody for the things that people get canceled for. I think they would, but I think they do out of pressure.
Oh yeah, it's external pressure.
It's
for
external pressure, and I also think that some of the people that kind of like when the canceling begins, it becomes people get swept up in the idea of the power they have, right? And they also want to appear very virtuous.
Mhm.
Look at the things that we got done, and the more of a list of things that you have that you got done, the more you can bring to your cause.
Right.
And I get that. And I absolutely understand that. But I also think that people online kind of fall into the same category as if you have someone talking about war that's happening in another country.
Right.
or disease that's happening in another country.
Mm-hmm.
I think, unfortunately, what can happen is if you're reading stats or you're just online or all you're looking at is a white screen with words on it, that you stop seeing people and you just see numbers. And when you just see numbers, you start to be able to use whatever numbers you can to back your agenda.
Right.
So I think some of the cancel stuff, I don't think people even connected with people that like they're ruining people's lives.
Right.
And they're ruining their livelihoods. And they're like, you said something 10 years ago. Like if you sat them down and you said to them, you said, okay, you have the power right now. You don't like something that I said 10 years ago. You can A, talk to me about it. B, not even hear me out, but just yell at me or whatever you want to do. Or C, you can get me fired from my job, make sure that I can't make a living. I then am going to be homeless. I then am never going to be able to either, one, own up to it, change anything, do anything different.
Right.
You've ruined my life, and therefore you've made me like I can't even be sorry for it now because I'm just trying to put pieces back together. Like that's Is that what you want to do to somebody because of something they said?
Yeah. Right.
You know, or because of a joke they told? Or you know, you want to like, oh, you told a joke that I didn't think was funny and feels insulting to me. So I want you to lose your home.
Yeah.
It's like people just I think that they don't understand that.
Yeah.
I hope they don't understand.
Right.
You know, I like to try and think the best of people, even shit people. I see what you're doing. You're popping in, you're watching the show, you're listening to the show, you're like, I really like their interviews. Or you're like, I don't like their interviews at all, but I do like 7 questions. Or you're like, man, I wish more people knew about this show because these guys are fun and these guys are cool. How can I help?
Well, one of the best ways to help is by going over to patreon.com/baconismypodcast and joining our Patreon. We've got awesome 3 tiers starting at $3 per month where you will get live stream shows on all of our discussion and drinks.
Every week.
Every week,
a live stream that you can join in on. You can weigh in on. You can jump in the chat. You can jump in the little community. our little
Interact
BIMP
with
squad.
us.
We got a cool squad over there, too, so you can meet people, make friends. We're all about that. Also, you can learn some cooking tips from us.
Yeah.
We got a few of those up there. You can try some of our dishes out.
Yeah. You can also watch us eat horrible shit.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Now, when we cook stuff, it's delicious, but the stuff that we eat is not.
Yeah, that's no.
Totally
It's
separate.
never fun.
Separate thing.
Yeah, but go ahead, go over there. There's tons of new content. We have early music releases. We've got live streams. We've got watch-alongs. We've got all sorts of stuff. Go to Bacon Is My Podcast's Patreon today and sign up and be part of the BIMP squad.
Totally helps us out, guys. Thank you so much. Cheers to you. What's your bacon? I don't think people are shitty. I think people do shitty things.
Yeah.
Right? And when a shitty thing becomes rewarding to them, they do more and more shitty things.
Right.
And I think that's kind of
I think they could turn shitty.
Well, eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually you turn shitty when your only reward is from doing shitty things.
Right. Man. We did a serious episode.
Who knew?
This was a serious episode.
Who knew we had it in us?
You know what it was?
We're tired. You have permission to die.
You can rest now.
You can rest now. Did somebody say that to you? I hope so.
No, nobody said
I
it.
feel like
It's
your
from
dad,
a movie.
Like your dad came up to you. It was like, Mike.
No, I got
That'd be
the
amazing.
on Tuesday or Wednesday. We have-
Here's what's next.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, man,
All right.
yeah, I am tired though.
Yeah, go to bed.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, well, I'm gonna have chocolate cream pie.
All right.
Yeah,
Because it's your birthday. You were born today so many years ago. A really long time ago, you were born on this day. Like forever ago.
Oh man,
So many years more than 20.
yeah, yeah.
So much more than 20.
The guy that stood
Also
us
from the
up,
movie.
the guy that stood us up,
Yeah.
as of today, if you doubled his age, I'm still more years than him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Here we go.
and we also have a YouTube page.
Mm-hmm.
Only I would suffice to say that our content in this one show today
Yeah, yeah.
is worlds better than what I saw.
Yeah, well, we'll see. They want to reschedule.
I didn't name them.
They want to
I see
reschedule.
a lot of crap content.
They want to reschedule. They asked, hey, we want to reschedule 20 minutes later. 20 minutes after they were supposed to show up.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I would,
We'll
to
think
me,
about
that's, I think that's a cancellation.
it. Probably. Probably. Hey.
Hope he loses his house. I'm just kidding. I don't. He lives with his parents. I actually hope that he is wildly successful because he has a platform. And I think that that would be good.
That was very nice of you.
I mean, get better. But like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
If you have a you know how many people wish they had a platform and don't?
Mhm.
If you do have one, use it. Use it and earn it and do great things with it.
Yeah.
You know, like we can all day go like, why him and not somebody else? Like, no, him, he's got it. All right, get better, get your shit together, make your appointments, don't cancel last minute, put out good content, and keep getting better
That's right.
and rule the world, man.
Do it.
Do it. Rule the goddamn world.
Do it.
And I
Speaking
say goddamn. Fully knowing that might offend somebody.
Woo! Living on the edge.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do.
Let's go snort some coke, dressed like the devil.
Just like dying on a cross.
Guys, thanks for hanging out.
With that,
Before this goes too dark.
remember we were talking about death at the beginning? Yeah.
Much love. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for discussing
And
drinking with us.
Hopefully you're drinking with us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not trying to peer pressure you.
Right. I am. All the cool kids drink.
Before we get canceled. Let's
Yeah.
get out of here.
Let's snort this line of coke off this globe.
What's your bacon?
See you guys.
World peace.